upstate New York comes bar-heavy lyricist Pretty Bulli, known for her pen game, commanding voice, and authenticity to cut straight to the heart. She's back with a new project entitled Set It Off, produced by P.A. Dre. Packed with heavy lyricism, emotional depth, and dope production, it features standout tracks like Discrimination and What I Go Through, highlighting her signature blend of grit and vulnerability. This project is inspired by the classic film Set It Off, starring Queen Latifah, Jada Pinkett, and Vivica Fox, and like the film, it explores themes of struggle and survival. In addition to her new project, Pretty Bulli is known for standout albums like Then and Now, Duffel Bag Bully, The Breakup, and more. Tune in to learn about her journey in music, her new project Set It Off, and what she's got coming next at 4 p.m. LA, 7 p.m. New York. Let's bring her in. He's clean.
Hi.
How are you?
How are you, honey?
You know what? I'm over here bumping the new project you just released.
How do you like it?
It's really dope because you have a special skill of being able to take uh really complicated emotions and experiences and putting it over dope beats. You know what I'm saying? Putting those words
Shout out
together.
to PA
Yeah. Shout out to PA Dre. The new project by Pretty Bully available everywhere now, completely produced by PA Dre. That's probably a really good place to start because he's such an incredible producer, known for all of his work with RJ Payne, and the list goes on and on. How did y'all connect?
We actually connected through L Biz. So shout out to L Biz from Team I Stay Busy. He connected us a couple years back. I want to say about maybe 2 years ago. So this baby has been in the making for a while.
Yeah, yeah, and there's something about the tempo of the beats selected for this project and your ability to really structure um songs that like tell a story, right? This was a very story oriented. I'm gonna bring you into characters, but then your own emotions and life experiences, mixing in the inspiration for this project, the very now classic movie Set It Off.
Yes.
Talk to us about that inspiration, how that decision was made, what it means to you.
Oh man. Well, I can start with the fact that it kind of took me back to my high school days. I loved descriptive writing.
Yeah.
Like that was something I always loved diving into. So when it came down to this project, when I was talking with L Biz a couple years ago, I knew I wanted to get into more in touch with the art of storytelling. I always loved telling
Yeah.
stories. So I wanted to get more in touch with that as far as my projects were concerned. And when we came up with the concept of doing the movie, I knew immediately that I related to every character in a way.
Yeah.
It didn't have to be completely with their lifestyle, but I related to every single character. So I couldn't wait to dive into it because it was like, not only was I was narrating the story, but I was also telling my perspective, from my own life experience. And so I really enjoyed writing
Yeah.
this project.
It was really interesting how you were able to do that because the movie is such a classic. I had to go revisit it in preparation for this, and it was yeah, and it reminded me of well, first of all, so many cutting edge themes that they were ahead of their time back when they
Yes,
did that movie, right?
absolutely.
Yeah, and then it's also kind of it lets you see how things haven't changed. There's so much that hasn't changed,
Mhm.
right? And
Mhm.
you had some video work, and I don't know if it's the lead single, but one of the singles that was being pushed was Discrimination, right? And that
Yeah.
plays heavily in this movie. And you talk about that throughout that song. Why don't we start with that song right there?
Well, Discrimination it actually came not the last song, but the second to last song. I had already completed the project and I wanted to basically summarize what it was
Yeah,
about. All the different discriminations that took place in the movie that are still current present day for single Black mothers and things of that nature. So it was easy for me to tap into the topics because I've lived through most of them, So when narrating the movie, it was a different tactic for me to summarize the movie because I didn't want to repeat different scenarios
Right.
when talking about the film in different songs. So when I tell you I was taking notes,
Yeah.
Chris,
Yeah.
through the whole thing, it was really a fun experience to dive back into it so deep with descriptive writing.
Yeah. Have you ever done this for a project? Because you've got, like Then and Now, right? Duffel Bag Bully, right? You've given us so many different versions of Pretty Bully, but this
Mhm.
one was a creative exercise using a classic film as inspiration, but then taking your own life stories and emotions and experiences and kind of, creating this brand new thing. But did you have to go back and watch the movie and, kind of like take notes and piece it apart? How did that work?
Absolutely. Even though I knew the movie like the back of my hand, that's one of my favorite
Yeah.
movies. I knew the movie like the back of my hand. I just wanted to have really defined details as far as the address and where Cleo threatened that young lady, things like that. I wanted to
Yeah.
make sure I had so many details that if you didn't know the movie, you would feel like you were there. So when I tell you, I maybe watched that movie probably 25 times while doing this because I didn't want to miss
Yeah.
anything. I wanted everything that stood out to me when I watched it to be described either in one of the songs or the intro or the poem. So, yes, I watched that movie a
Yeah.
lot while I was writing
Yeah.
this.
And going back and watching the movie, it made me feel um like that movie's been copied. Like there was a joint that I just saw where her name is I can't remember her name right now, but the actress, like, she wanted to rob a bank by accident. They're gonna take her kid, and I'm like, you know what I'm
Oh,
talking about? Yes,
Taraji. That
exactly.
was a good movie,
It's such
though. I
a good
cried with
movie.
that movie.
Such a good movie. Me too, right? Like I was really pulled
Mhm.
into the movie and could understand the character, how she winds up with the gun,
Yeah,
how horrible her boss was, how, all those
yeah.
things. But I'm not sure who made that movie. It may have been
Tyler
yeah, I'm not sure.
Perry.
Yeah, I think it was Tyler Perry, right? And he's producing so much.
Yeah.
He's got that dope production studio now that, there's a lot of Tyler Perry branded things coming out. But he definitely watched this
Hmm.
movie, you know what I'm saying, at some point in time, because the
Yeah. Understood.
parallels, yeah,
Yeah.
the parallels are there. This movie has inspired so many people, and I think it was a big part of their careers, right? Vivica, that's young Queen Latifah. That's Jada back when
Yeah.
Jada was acting like for real, like there was no other connect. She was like putting it on, and it
Right.
just took me back down that rabbit hole of that movie. This new project that you put out, yeah,
It felt really good to tap in to those queens because I grew up watching
yeah,
them. Whether it was with Queen and with music or when she dove into acting, like it felt like I was paying homage to them.
yeah,
Because certain things we don't want to get swept under the rug.
yeah,
It won't be old, it'll forever be a classic. And we need to shine light on classics
yeah.
more often.
I love that. And when you take us through this project, at the end you wrap it up with a
Mhm.
powerful song called Black Queens, right? Can you talk to us about that?
Oof. I have not written a poem since 2017 when my father passed away. That was the last time I wrote a poem. So this was, ooh, it was heartfelt, baby. I felt every last word of that. It wasn't, even though it was ties to the movie in that poem, it was mostly me, like it was absolutely pieces of the movie in it, but not much. Like I sent it to my best friend. Shout out to my best friend. And when I sent it to him, his response was, "Now, how much of that was
Yeah,
you?" So I don't. Whew, the project was already completed. That was the last song. I get a little emotional when I listen to that one still, just a little bit. Okay,
yeah,
a lot of
yeah,
it.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beyond the movie, what other maybe people or inspiration did you take in writing that poem?
that that was really solely life experiences and my family, whether it is a sister, a cousin, a best friend, or whatever have you. Like when you're close as a community and as a family, I experience what you
Yeah.
experience. So I feel what you feel. So the people that are close to me, the women that are close to me, I have four sisters. So
Wow.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that
So
that
our
context
experiences
really
are each
like
other.
makes this movie even that much more.
Yeah. It's layers to
Yeah.
this, baby.
Mhm.
Right.
Wow. Now you work so well on this project with PA Dre. Is there more work coming with PA Dre?
Absolutely.
I know the beats
And
arrived.
it's
I
a
know not
pleasure to work
everything
with
right made it
him.
on to the album, right? Like there's always like those beats that didn't wind up. What's coming with PA Dre next?
You know what? With this project, that wasn't the case.
Wow.
Like, we actually had the way we set it up, I knew immediately that I wanted to speak from the perspective of each woman.
Yeah.
So, in addition, we added discrimination and Black
Yeah.
queens to sum it up and to close it out. So there wasn't like flyaway tracks. I just stuck to the script
Got it.
and wrote exactly what was there. I knew I wanted to highlight all four women, but four tracks for an EP really wouldn't work. So we added the two additional. And that's when I took it back to my high school descriptive writing. It's like, well, you need a closing and you absolutely need a summary. So here we are.
That's really dope. That's really dope. You had a project last year with Kid Called Quest. Incredible project
Hey, kid.
this year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um uh the new project out now, available everywhere. Set It Off, produced by PA Dre. I know that you're highly sought after for that bar work. You've worked with heavy hitters like Static Selector, uh, Team Demo, right? There's a lot of producers that are looking for that sound, that pen. Is there anything that you have coming next that you can share with us?
Oh man. I'm just working a lot. Shout out to Castle Money. Shout out to Imperative. Shout out to PA Dre, Team Demo. There are a lot of Kid Clock Quest. We have some things as well. Jimmy Dukes. I am. I'm basically working on how I feel. So if you send me a beat, 9 times out of 10, we're gonna get to it. So I'm not putting myself in a box or in a space where I need to finish this project. Currently, I have, oh man, one, two, three, about four in the making,
Wow.
just working, just working, and a couple sitting that are ready to go already. I'm just happy to be in a space where I'm able to write fluently. So keep the beats coming, producers.
That's dope. For producers that hear this or go back through your impressive catalog and they want to like connect with you, what's the right way for them to do that?
Please send me an email. Um, I do have my email in my bio, and it is bullymusic716 at gmail.com. Please send me an email because DMs are treacherous. Oh, it's rough over there. So an email would be a lot better.
That's dope. That's dope. Now, I saw some sizzles, promoting this project. I saw a sizzle for like Discipline, and is there any upcoming video work? Because you've had some dope videos in the past. Visually, are there things you're working on?
Absolutely. For this project, we will have a video for every last track. So that is in
Oh,
the making.
wow.
It's
Wow.
only right. It's
Yeah.
only right.
So can talk to us about that? Like, is there one that's coming soon? What are you gonna use the movie as? Because the inspiration for this was a visual, work of art. So are you planning on
Right.
incorporating, are you planning on incorporating some of the Set It Off movies, backgrounds, or what can you share in regards to the visual aspect?
Okay, I don't want to give too much, but I will get into character. I'll say that much. So I will pay homage to each individual lady that was in the movie and summarize it with myself. But there will be a visual to every track. I don't want to
That's
tell you too much.
so dope. I mean, you told us
And
a
shout
lot
out to
right there. That's
Rashid
really, really
too.
dope. That's really, really dope.
Mr. Black Belt Jones, Rashid
Yeah.
will be still, he still does all my visuals. So
Yeah.
yes, we are locked in. Mm-hmm.
All right. That's dope. Okay. So we're going to see some acting chops.
So I'm diving in. I'm trying. You know what? In order to be comfortable, you got to be uncomfortable. So that's not something I'm familiar with, which is why I want to dive into it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah. Because
Absolutely.
you're comfortable with the pen. You're comfortable spitting the bars. You're comfortable with somebody pulling out the camera and capturing you spitting the
Right.
bars. But given the uniqueness of this project, it kind of demands something a little bit different, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Taking me out of my comfort zone. So it was on purpose.
yeah,
Like in order to grow, we got to do things we're not comfortable with. So bring it.
yeah. Pretty Bully, you're sharing with us a little bit about the descriptive writing classes, some of the toolkit that you had to reach back into in order to give us more than just the bar work, right? You had to actually like weave in characters that are already established, mixing it in with personal life experiences to create a new product. Talk to us about that
Mhm.
earlier part of your creativity. The poetry, the creative writing, maybe Pretty Bully before we knew her as an MC. Can you share some of that background with us?
Well, I actually started off with the poetry. So it was more of a venting process for me. I was isolated as a kid. Not, it was my fault. I was bad, so I was sent to my room a lot.
Yeah.
So that is where I began recording myself on voice recorders and I started jotting down my thoughts. It wasn't necessarily a journal, but I would jot down my thoughts. And then from there, it grew into poetry. Um, Poetry was always my favorite. Now, when I started writing music, it was fun, but it was more competitive for me. Like the guys around my way, they would freestyle and battle each other, and me being who I am, being competitive, I'm like, okay, I could do that too. So it was more so being better than him what started the whole writing process for rapping. But my first love has always been poetry. I even dabbled in battling a little bit, but it's not enough heartfelt energy in battling. Like I could bark at somebody all day. The bar work to me, it comes naturally. I'm okay with that. But to push yourself and help people to see your words, that's a whole different ball game. So that's what I like to focus on. I want you to see what I'm saying, feel what I'm saying. Punchlines is that anybody
Yeah.
could do that. So I would rather have a picture painted for you with my words. So that is how I wanted to go back to that feeling of when I started writing with the poetry. Like I always love music. Music will always be there for me. But if I can incorporate the two, bring that poetic vibe to my writing of music, it's like a win-win. So I'm like loving the space that I'm in right
Yeah.
now.
And that reflects in this project because it's you're giving the bar work, you're over dope production. Um, you always use great words, right? So you're connecting words in
Mm.
uncommon ways, which is a part of the whole rap thing, right? It's like you don't want it to be like, cat in the hat, right? So you're always looking for dope ways to
Exactly.
flip things, right? But now
Mhm.
you're doing it in a way on this project that's very there's therapy there, right? There's psychology, there's emotions, there's life experience, adversity, the
Yeah,
overcoming of adversity, an overcoming of situations, all captured in songs, right? It's like you're peeling back layers that I think a lot of people are going to be able to
yeah.
relate to using characters, using
Hmm.
characters from it's really cool what you've done on this project. Set it off, available everywhere.
Thank you.
Um, do you think that like this is something that we're gonna see more of? I know that right now, Set It Off is fresh out the oven, right? It's still like that smell is still like coming out that a
Yeah.
pie right out the oven, right? It's delicious. It's out there, but it's kind of it's a different for me. It's a different Pretty Bully than like duffel bag bully and then and now, right? Where you're giving them those bars, we're gonna give you that work. Now I'm giving
Mhm.
you a piece of myself, right? That's what I felt,
Absolutely.
right? I got to know you a little bit more through this project. Do you see yourself in the future kind of this being just a tool in the toolkit? Or are we gonna see more like this? Or are you gonna go back to giving us that bar work? What's coming in the future?
Now the bar work will always be there. I can't get rid of that. That's me. But now I'm in a different stage of my life. So I've tapped into being not only transparent in my music, but I wasn't able to be as vulnerable before. Everything was scripted, it was structured. I would let people see what I want them to see, which is why everything was always so bar heavy. There was no vulnerability a part of it at all. But now I'm comfortable with not only my life, who I am, who the woman I'm becoming, so now I can talk about past trauma, past issues that I've had, discrimination that I've seen. I'm comfortable with talking about it now. So, oh, absolutely. You will absolutely hear more of this.
That's really, really dope. Is there like a is that attributed to something? Is that like inner work you've been doing? Is that just, with life experience? What confidence in your pen? Is there, where as you are getting these dope projects, like project after project, you're getting co-signed by like lots of people that are very established, right? You're on the radio programs, right? You're working with the producers and with the different MCs. Is there something that's happening in your life that you're like, I'm gonna actually I'm gonna open up and show you, aspects of my life.
Everything. And your key word that you said earlier was therapy. That's
Mm,
exactly what this is for me. Like for a long time, I would just kind of hide behind my pen in a way. I always knew that I could write. I was good at it, so it was just something that I did. But now it's something that helps me get through things that are happening. So this is absolutely therapeutic. Everything. And it makes it easier to write. You don't have to think about things to write if you're actually talking about what's happening to you. So it took me a while to tap into that, but I'm happy I'm here.
yeah, it's like
It's a good
unlimited
feeling.
material.
Exactly. Because life be life, and
It
baby.
don't
Okay?
stop.
Like,
There's no
we can't
pause
stop
button.
that. It does. So it's like endless content, you know?
Wow, wow.
Yeah.
For the people who
It's good to see you,
thank you.
too.
Ivor, it's good to see you.
Yeah.
Looking good.
Same to you. We didn't get to say any of that when we started.
We trying, man. We trying to make it do what it do, for sure.
Understood.
Yeah. But no, that's really dope. I want to make sure that people who um want to listen to this project, want to go back and listen to your catalog, want to stay connected to Pretty Bully. They discover you through this, or maybe they've seen you,
Uh-huh.
but now they connect with this project because of how deep you're going in on your own life, really. What are the best ways for people to like hear everything, really like stay connected with you?
Well, you can stay connected with me via my website. and that is prettybully.com. That is bully with an I. As far as the music is concerned, it's on all major streaming platforms. And if you go to prettybully.com, you can actually get Set It Off in vinyl right now.
Dope.
And I also have Bully Bites that are available, which is, oh my goodness, everything. I love cooking. So
Yeah, I saw
when
the
it comes to
cookies.
sweets,
Tell
treats,
us about the
juice,
cookies
oh,
and
I gotta sing you some
yeah,
too.
hey, I'm all for
Absolutely.
that.
Absolutely. So I actually do everything from cakes, pies, cookies, at catered events for food, things of that nature. So Bully Bite has been blessing me. It really has. It's been keeping me active. Um, I love making people happy, and food is one of those things. You put me in the kitchen, baby, we're good. With some music going, it's a win-win, you know? So yeah, you gotta tell me what your favorite sweet is, and I'll sing you something.
All right, I'll do that. I like everything. I
Okay.
definitely love food.
Oh,
I
you
definitely
easy to
love
feed.
food.
Heard.
But that's really
I
dope.
got you. I've been doing strawberry crunch cookies a lot lately.
I saw those
A
on
lot. So
your
it
site.
tastes
Yeah,
kind of like the you see
yeah, I
those
saw them
too?
on your page.
Yeah. I've been doing those a lot. Those have been in high demand lately.
That's dope. Yeah, I would love that. That'd be wonderful. And congratulations on that.
Thank you.
It's
Thank you.
and I think it's really cool to connect the music with aspects of your life, right? Like it's all creativity. Bully bites. That sounds dope. It can expand into so many things and connecting it to your projects and your products. I think it's really really cool.
hmm
The
Thank you.
yeah
Thank you so
the
much. It took a long time for me to get to the space where I can connect my life to I don't want to say extracurricular, but music is because you have your regular life,
yeah
but it's something that I love and I always want to do it, but that is not usually where your revenue is generated
yeah.
from. So for me to take what I do every day and to be able to incorporate it, because like even when I do shows, that is my merch. I'm pulling up with baked goods and I'm gonna sell out of these cookies when I get there. Like this is I'm incorporating everything I do and it doesn't feel like work.
What what does a Pretty Bully merch table look like at a show?
Okay, usually I come with peanut butter cookies, chocolate chip cookies. Um, Now it's going to be the strawberry crunch cheesecake cookies. The last event I had, I did cheesecake fries. Now it's cheesecake, but it's cut into crinkle fries, and I make a strawberry dipping sauce with a caramel dipping sauce. No, those went crazy. So I kind of freestyle, but it's always going to be peanut butter cookies and chocolate chip cookies. Those are a must go. And I also do infused drinks. So that table, yeah, you get fat girl wasted at my table.
And that probably, and this is the thing that's so difficult, like for artists, because they're always trying to figure out, you know, we love music, right? We love vinyl and all of that, but
Right,
we love to make money too, right? So it's like as an artist, artists are always trying to
right,
figure out like how do I monetize music in an era where we're in a streaming era. So it's really the
right,
responsibility, and everybody can't do the same thing because it's not going to work the same for everybody. So a lot of people got
right.
the merch hustle, right? They'll drop like a hoodie, and out here in LA, you see a lot of the cannabis culture, right? So they'll drop like a little cannabis pack with the project, right? But I think that
hmm
the baked goods is really fascinating. It's a real who's not gonna buy, you know, who's not gonna buy the strawberry cheesecake cookies? I mean, come on, strawberry
Right,
crunch. So you're moving, you're
right. I
moving
come
more
with auntie
units. You're moving
vibes.
more units than homie with the CD, right? CD looks beautiful. We all love it. But if you had to choose,
Uh-huh.
we're gonna go for the peanut butter cookies, right? So it's a real, real dope angle.
Exactly. I appreciate it. And you know what's crazy is because I didn't even approach it as an
Yeah.
angle. I just wanted to bring myself because I actually started and I had T-shirts and CDs, but I didn't want to feel like I was forcing my music down somebody's
Yeah.
throat. It didn't feel right. I'm like, okay, this is not it. So I said, you know what? I'm always in this kitchen anyway. Let me incorporate what I do. So I brought myself to my shows, and then it made people want to buy the music. I said, okay, we might be onto something.
Yeah. So, like, what was the first food product that you actually kind of you went and you did a performance or you did,
Mhm.
music related, and then you set up, and then you also had kind of like that first time that you put something out that was one of your baked goods. What was it? What was the first one you went with?
It was peanut butter cookies and chocolate chip, which is why they're at such a high demand. Like people expect that when they see me now. It's like, okay, well, where are those peanut butter cookies at? So it actually started. I started Bully Bites a couple years ago, but I wasn't incorporating the two together.
Yeah.
They were just like on separate segues. So it wasn't until recently, maybe a year ago,
Yeah.
that I intertwined the two. It was actually with Then and
Yeah, so
Now.
during the
I
then
made
and now
the cake.
rollout, that had such a dope rollout, right? And then you were like,
Well,
I'm
thank
here. You're
you.
like, I'm here. People gonna get
Yeah,
hungry.
pretty much. I put together the release event and I made the cake for it, and I had my the album cover was on the cake, and it's just my nature to want to feed
Yeah.
people. I just wanted everybody to get together. I feed you. We listen to this music. You tell me what you think about it. That was my whole purpose of doing it at first, and then it was like, now wait a minute. Let's just keep this going. You
Yeah.
know, and here we are.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so interesting because, I think we all love music. We all
Mhm.
want community. We want to
Yeah,
see artists perform the songs that we like. We want to go to the event. But not everybody wants to pick up a vinyl or a CD or a cassette.
right,
But a lot of people still
right,
do. A lot of people do. There's collectors. So it's an interesting thing of like how are artists finding ways to connect and
right.
and to be compensated. And and so I'm really blown away by the baked goods because I think it's a whole market. I've seen artists do candles. I've seen artists do
Mhm.
coffee, right? I've seen artists,
Yes.
and I've seen a lot of
Mhm.
cannabis, right?
That
I've
was
seen a lot in
interesting.
LA. Like
Yeah,
that's basically like and you go and out here you could basically buy the stuff like the tube with a pre-rolled joint, and you just slap a sticker on it. So it's a real
yeah.
easy thing for them to do. So it's a real established thing,
Um,
right? Yeah, the market's already there. You can buy the
okay.
pre-rolls and just get a little sticker done, and all of that infrastructure here in LA is like literally like buy 100. It's real easy. But the baked goods is a really dope angle. I love it. And if you love doing it and they're connecting with you,
Yeah.
because feeding people, that's love, right? So it's
It,
like,
it
yeah,
is. It really is. I told you I'm giving auntie vibes, and I'm okay with that. Like, come on and eat, baby. That's my vibe right now.
that's dope.
It's different when you can bring yourself to what you do, because a lot of artists, they have a disconnect when it comes to their merch because it's not them. They're trying to fit in with what everyone else does. Well, everybody else does t-shirts, let me do t-shirts. It's like, oh baby, if that's it's not you, it's not gonna work.
Yeah,
If you're bringing yourself to it, then you don't have to try to sell someone. They're
yeah,
coming there for you. Took a minute for me to get
yeah.
that.
Yeah, sometimes I know what you mean. Sometimes things seem obvious, but they're really not. Like you
Yeah,
have to do it
yeah,
a dozen times or more until you're like, oh, I'm just gonna sell these at every show.
yeah.
It's not
Pretty much,
just
because I had everything.
yeah,
hmm
that's dope. That's dope.
Everything from t-shirts, hoodies. I'll still do CDs and tangibles because that's a thing.
Yeah.
That's a given. But my ongoing merch will always be baked goods. Like it felt foreign to do anything else. You know?
Um, out of between shirts, hoodies, CDs, vinyl, or baked goods, to give us like the behind the scenes like analytics, like merch analytics, what is selling
Hmm.
the most typically? Because it always is going to vary a little bit, right? But what do you know when you put it
Hmm.
out? Like, I'm probably going to move all of these.
Absolutely the food. Absolutely. Um, that's like hands down. I sell out every time I take my food anywhere, so it's basically I have to figure out how much of this I can bring to a show,
Wow.
versus having 100 CDs and maybe selling 20.
Right.
So now it's like, okay, well, how many of these cookies can I bake before I come here? Because I know they're gonna sell them. So that's really what I have to work on now. How much time do I have, and how many cookies can I make before I go? So it's absolutely the food, absolutely.
You moving weight.
Hey, and it's funny you said that because I actually have aprons that are coming soon, and it's called wrist work, which can mean either in the kitchen or wherever it
Wherever
else you
else rips
do,
supply.
the lab.
Wherever
You
rips
feel
supply.
me? Absolutely. So yeah, wrist work coming soon.
That's dope. That's dope. That's awesome. Pretty Bully. So we got Set It Off. I want to make sure people know that they can stream it on all digital streaming platforms. A very dope
Yeah.
conceptual project that takes inspiration from the classic film Set It Off with Queen Latifah, Jada Pinkett, Smith, Vivica Fox. I think this is Jada Pinkett before she was Jada Pinkett Smith, right? This is early Jada
I
Pinkett.
think so.
Yeah,
'Cause that was 90s. I don't know when they got married, but I
yeah.
believe so.
I
I
think
do
so.
believe so.
I think so. From watching the trailers and watching the movie and everything, I was like, there was no hyphen. It was just Jada.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay.
But a really incredible project that is
Thank
completely produced
you.
by the legendary producer P.A. Dre. Um, new work coming. You named multiple projects, right? We didn't go into details into what's coming next, but you've got 3, 4 things cooking, um,
Yeah.
and a lot of producers that you've worked with in the past and that you're still working with. As we start to wrap up, any final gems or anything you want to make sure that we cover, before we wrap up?
Make sure you guys visit prettybully.com. You can keep up with any upcoming events, any new cookie that I may have came up with, things of that nature. And I also have 2 singles that are out with Castle Money Beats, Hitting Different in Lifestyle. It's a lot going on right now. So shout out to Castle Money as
Because
well.
you've been working with Castle Money forever. Like that's the homie from the
Yeah,
from projects that came
absolutely.
before.
Duffel
Yeah.
bag bully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the
Good relationship. That's what this whole thing is about. It really is.
yeah.
I try to stay. I'm very private, and I'm not outside all the time. So if I have a bond with you, I like to grow with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's build from that. So the guys that I work with, the plan is to continue working with them.
There's a lot of wisdom in that. Yeah. If it
Yes.
ain't broke, don't fix it.
You better talk. Exactly.
Pretty Billy said honor. You created a beautiful project that is
Thank you.
really creative. It's a very it's a one of these lyrical but still introspective. So it's like, you know what I mean? It's like it's taking you deep into real life, human reality, human experience, things that aren't just punchlines. But we all know that you get busy with the punchlines. You know what I mean? That's
Hey,
established.
absolutely.
That's established.
Exactly. Exactly. I'm comfortable with showing other sides of myself, and we have so much superficial music that's out right now. We need things with depth. Something that's going to make you think. Everything doesn't have to be ratchet. We all could get ratchet sometimes. It's in us. It's okay,
Yeah.
but that's not everyday life.
Yeah.
These babies need to hear everyday
Good.
life. That's a thing.
That's good. That's beautiful. Pretty Bully, it's an honor to have you back on the Cristopolis show. Set It Off, available everywhere now on all digital streaming platforms.
Yes, it
See you
is.
again soon.
And make sure y'all get your vinyl copy.
Yeah. Oh, and they get the vinyl at Pretty Bulli. They get the vinyl at prettybully.com.
The link is in my bio. And you can also get it from there as well. Yes. But check the Instagram bio and you can see the link to get the vinyl.
That's dope. All right. We're running back soon.
I'm shiny. It's hot in here, baby.
It's summer. Summer 2025.
No, for real. No complaints, though. I'm going to take it.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too, honey. And listen, anytime. And I'm going to see you guys send me your information. So I can send you these cookies.
I love it. I would love some cookies. Peace.
They on the way. I promise.
Salute.